To originate a Hyundai, Lexus, or Kia key, begin by installing the code rods. Remove the Allen screw from the top table with the 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Slide the carriage to the left and insert the 3/32 Allen wrench into the hole in the locking hub. Turn the rod onto the hub until it comes to a complete stop. Be sure to replace the Allen screw in the table to prevent chips from entering the table assembly. Install the space rod in the same way. Remove the Allen screw, insert the 3/32 Allen wrench into the hole in the lock hub, and thread the space rod onto the shaft. Be sure to snug the space rod up, then replace the Allen screw. In this step, we will pre-cut the tip of the blank with our 5/32 cutter. This step is optional, but will preserve the smaller 3/32 cutting bit. You may want to pre-cut several keys while you have the machine set up for it. Before proceeding, insert and align the 5/32 cutter and guide as shown in the alignment video. Begin by inserting the standard setup key into the machine. Use the handheld tip stop to align the key properly. Secure in the vise with the thumb screw. Next, bring the guide down onto the surface of the setup key. Lock the carriage in this position with the large knob in the front of the machine. To prevent the guide from dragging on the surface of the pattern key, turn the dial to 10. Lift up on the guide and lock it into the raised position with the small knob on the left side of the machine. Note that we have not changed the depth of the cutting bit. Next, insert the blank into the right side vise using the handheld tip stop to align it. We're now ready to pre-cut the tip of our key. Turn on the machine and ease the key into the cutter, keeping an eye on the guide at all times. Let the guide enter the right tip of the key and trace in a U-shape, up the right side and back down the left. Move the carriage across the key to be sure all material is removed from the tip cut. Do this on both sides of the key. As stated previously, you may want to pre-cut an entire box of blanks, allowing you to skip this step in the future. Before proceeding, insert and align the 3/32 guide and the special 3/32 cutter. This special cutter is designed only for code cutting and comes in a pink tube. Insert the special space key that is flattened off completely on one side. Tip stop the key in the left vise using the handheld tip stop. Insert the pre-cut key blank into the right vise in the same way. Engage the depth rod by tightening the thumb screw. In our example, we will engage the rod on the right side and make those cuts first. Engage the space rod in the same way. Turn the rod to the number 1 space position at the head of the key. Turn the machine on. Be sure that the space rod is in the first position on the key. When code cutting with the single key method, we will basically be drilling down into the key, similar to a drill press. After each cut is made, we will widen the cuts to remove material in between the cuts. In this example, our right side cuts are 313, 123. With the depth rod at a number 3 position, pull the lever on the right side of the machine down and firmly make your cut. After we make the first 3 cut at the head of the key, we will space to the second position, which is a deeper number 1 cut. After making the number 1 cut, we will turn our depth back to a number 3 position, and while holding the lever in the down position, turn the space rod back to the first cut position. This will widen the cut slightly and remove material in between the cuts, creating a smoother operating key. Next, turn the space rod to a number 3 position. We are already at a number 3 depth, so all we need to do is pull down on the lever to make our cut. Our previous cut was a number 1, so in this case we simply turn our space rod back slightly to widen the cut. When widening the cutout, always widen at the shallowest depth of the 2 cuts. Turn the space rod to the number 4 position. In this position we have a number 1 depth. Pull the lever down to make our cut. The previous cut was a number 3 depth, shallower, so we will turn our depth rod to 3 and widen the cut slightly. We will continue in this fashion to make our 5th and 6th cuts, which are 2 and 3. After we make our last cut on the right side of the key, widen the cut both ways to run out the last cut to the tip of the key. To make the cuts on the left side of the key, loosen the thumb lock knob and rotate the depth rod to the left side cuts. Move the carriage to engage the rod. Cuts on the left side of the key are 3-2-2, 1-2-1. We will make our left side cuts the same way we did as the right, widening out each cut and being sure to run out the last cut. When widening, remember to widen to the shallower of the two cuts. After making the last cut on the key, be sure to run out the last cut towards the tip of the key. Turn the machine off and remove the key from the vise. Note that we do not have the chip shield installed on our video for clarity. Be sure to install it prior to cutting your key. Repeat this procedure for the second side of the key. Prior to this step, insert and align the standard 3/32 cutter and 3/32 guide. To begin duplicating, either loosen both thumb screws or completely remove the rods from the machine. Be sure the knob in the front of the machine is loosened, the dial is on set, and the small lock knob on the left side of the machine is loosened. Insert the pattern key in the left vise using the handheld tip stop. To set our depth of cut, bring the cutter head down with the lever so the guide enters a cut part of the pattern key. The guide will contact the key blank, but is spring-loaded. Continue pulling down on the handle until the guide is fully compressed. Tighten the large knob in front to secure the cutter head. To prevent the guide from dragging on the surface of the pattern key, turn the dial to 10. Lift up on the guide and lock it into the raised position with the small knob on the left side of the machine. Note that we have not changed the depth of the cutting bit. This step removes the spring pressure pushing down on our pattern key. Insert the blank key into the vise on the right side of the machine using the handheld tip stop. Secure in place with the thumb lock screw. When duplicating, begin cutting this type of key at the right tip of the key, work down the right side, then work from the bow of the key towards the tip on the left side, making a U-shaped cut. Once you have cut the first side, remove the key from the vise, turn it over, and follow the same procedure on the other side of the key.